You're listening to the Jules and Coffee Hour, sharing the stories of Blizzard gamers around the world. Pull up a chair. We're glad you're here.
It's episode 23 of the Jules and Coffee Hour. I'm Jules.
And I'm Coffee, and I am swiping right for Jules RPG.
Well, thank you so much. It's the new red hair, isn't it?
It is. You're looking good. Very good. Love the hair.
Thank you. This was not exactly planned for me to go as bright, vividly red as my hair is. If you're watching the video, you see it. If you don't, I put a picture up on my Twitter account because I realized I got my hair done on Saturday and didn't even show it off because my brain is not there. It's been so busy, so busy that but not busy, not too busy enough for me to provide Coffee with some really excellent content for the end of the show. I hope you guys will enjoy this.
Yeah.
We're trying something new.
Yeah.
Something some comedic and fun and funny as part of what we're trying to do with this show, which is to tell stories and share our experiences and talk about serious things, but also talk about funny things. So hopefully we'll find the right balance. And if we don't, you'll tell us, because you do.
Yeah.
You guys tell us. Like, we get tweets and you tell us stuff.
This segment could totally fall flat. People may think it's, just like mean or something, and you may be right. We're just trying it out, We're here to try it out with you guys, and if you guys give us the feedback that it's no good, this will be it. This will be the one and done. But I feel like it could be good. I feel like we could do something here.
Well, I think in life we need a lot of laughter and fun and funny. And, there's a fine line between laughter at someone else's expense and kind of laughter at the absurdity of life. Yeah. And I'm aiming for laughter at the absurdity of life and the things that we are trying to do in life. Online dating is pretty absurd in a lot of ways. And, I I don't want to just make fun of like the run of the norm. There's not a lot of, there are a lot of like normal type people that are looking to find a partner, but there are some out there where it's just like, this can't be real and therefore it must be shared. So that's what we're going to do.
I wonder if they're not real. Like, I don't know. Like, I have so many questions.
I do too, because I truly don't know. But the first thing we're going to do with this show is talk about the stories and the things that affect us as members of the Blizzard community, as Blizzard gamers, all those wonderful things that make us who we are as friends, Coffee and I, and as a community. And this topic for this week is going to be probably a little bit heavy. I expect that there will be some emotional sharing going on, maybe some tears, and that's okay, because we're going to run the gamut of the emotional sphere. And
I don't know if I can take tears after last week, man. Last week was it was a lot. Last week was a lot.
I'm actually looking forward to this topic, Coffee, and I think you'll know why as we get into it. But the topic of this week came from a tweet that our dear friend and HeroesHearth partner Kid Kerrigan had put up about forgiveness. And her tweet was about someone who had reached out to her after doing some pretty awful things to her in the past, for asking for apologizing and asking for forgiveness. And her question during that tweet was, do I have to? Is it required of me to forgive someone who has hurt me and wronged me in a pretty significant way? And I was like, man, I want to talk about this a lot.
Yeah.
I do. So that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about the topic of forgiveness, the challenges, the pain of it, and the art or skill or not of asking for it. So when I say the word forgiveness, Coffee, what comes to your mind right off?
I think about like religion, I suppose. I don't know why, but I think about, that being something that religion tells us to do. And it's like, I'm not a churchgoer, but my wife grew up going to church every Sunday, and forgiveness is something that's really important to her because it was instilled in her as a child. So I just think about religion when I think about forgiveness, and that tells us to do that.
I honestly didn't expect that answer, and I'm glad that you said it because I do think that we are taught lessons at a young age about forgiveness, and it comes from your sense of morality and ethics and what you've been raised as to decide if, how you treat forgiveness and what it means to you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting that you say religion because I don't know if I've even ever talked about this on the show after 23 episodes, but I was raised Jewish as a child. I think I might have talked about it. And so and I don't practice any religion now. And that is a very personal choice because I don't believe in what most religions put forth to people. I don't feel it's fair, and therefore I just don't. And I struggle with the feelings of instruction that you're supposed to forgive and forget people's actions that they take against you, and when it's like like this is how you're supposed to live your life because this is what your religion dictates. So yeah, it's an interesting thing.
It is.
Forgive and forget.
I feel like it's easier said than done always,
Yeah.
I'll be honest, like I'm not the type of person that forgets, injustices or things that have been done to me or wrongs that have been done to me. I never forget them. It's kind of like an elephant in that way because an elephant never forgets. But I do forgive. I am not afraid to work with people again, in the future if they've wronged me or something. I just take it as a lesson learned, and I move on, and I continue to work with people, and I just don't forget. I proceed with caution because fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So I don't want to feel like I'm being had. I don't want to forgive someone and then just have them come back and take me off guard again.
Yeah, and so there's a really good example of back in my I guess I was in my 30s. It was probably like late 20s, early 30s. I was a supervisor in a corporate setting, and I had an employee who was really, really difficult to manage. And she was one of those people that really tried to become a friend of mine, which is very difficult when you're a manager because you're not really supposed to be friends with the people that you supervise.
It's a hard balance.
And it's a very hard balance. And as a young supervisor manager, I had fallen into some of that trap of being more friend than I was manager, which came back and bit me in the ass. But so this employee had some real problems with substance abuse, it turned out, and which I didn't know at the time. And she had done some pretty awful things to try to undermine my authority with my superiors, with our HR department, and eventually she left the company. And a couple of years later, she reached out to me and she asked me to meet her for coffee. And I said, okay. And she was actually going through a 12-step program where she was in the process of making amends with people that she had wronged. And the interesting thing of that process was that she was asking for my forgiveness for the things that she had done. And for me, honestly, I had moved on so far past what she was apologizing for that it really didn't give me any satisfaction at all that she was doing this. It was like, well, okay. Yeah, I mean, this doesn't register
it's for
to
her.
me. It was most 100% for her, and it was she needed my blessing, if you will, to help her accept her faults and move forward. And there was, and for me that was interesting because at the time I was like, well, yeah, I mean, sure, I forgive you. I don't really harbor any ill will for you, and it's fine.
Yeah.
But I think about the times where I have been very painfully hurt by people and wish that that opportunity had come my way, where someone would actually sit down and try to make amends for the things that they had done. And when I was younger, I would like fantasize about that. I would fantasize about people coming to me with hat in hand and saying, Jules, I was so wrong, and will you ever forgive me? Because I would feel like I was going to be vindicated of the burdens that I carried, of the pain that I carried, or what it was. And now I don't think of it that way. Like I don't yearn for that moment of reckoning. I don't. And it's interesting how my maturity has changed that perspective.
Hmm. Yeah, you know, if I'm thinking personally, to me, I think about recently. This is something that happened in just the last year. I was working on a project with two individuals working on some film stuff, and
Yeah.
we were raising money to, you know, make this film happen. It was a film that I was super passionate about, super excited about. Ended
I
up putting a
remember
lot of my
this.
own money into it. They ended up taking, you know, the money. They shot it. You know, we shot the thing, but then um, they kind of, you know, there was probably some money left over. I don't know, but they shot it and just never edited it. Didn't do anything with the footage, and you know, just like a month later said, yeah, we're not gonna continue this working relationship. You know. And at first I was really upset, and you know, then I realized that, you know, if I, you know, I put in some of my own money into this project. Yes, I lost money on
Mhm.
it, but I also paid for the knowledge that these two individuals suck, you know?
Yeah.
And if they came to me today and asked me if I'd work with them ever again, I would say no.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
maybe a year from now, though, it might be a different story. I would just proceed with caution. Maybe I wouldn't put it as much of my own time and money and effort into it. I don't know. But I know that life happens. I know that different circumstances cause people to do different things, and they have their own reasons. And it's very rare when someone does a project or something for you that is entirely selfless. They are trying to get a something out of it, even if it's
Oh
small,
yeah.
you know? So I recognize that, and I consider that when someone's asking for forgiveness. You know, maybe they didn't achieve or acquire that thing that they were after, and that's ultimately why they let you down. But I think about that when I'm
Yeah.
thinking about forgiveness.
And you know, you talked about how you think about basically the lesson that you learned from the experience of being let down or being disappointed or being hurt.
Yeah.
And that's very much how I live in a lot of ways, and it's this duality of like, yes, I've learned a lesson that will push me forward and take me to the next phase of my life, but I have, you know, this is really hard for me because I am very much I'm a super sensitive individual. Like I feel emotions on a high level, and sometimes it's really difficult for me to recover from feeling betrayed or um, let down. And then there's another side of it, which is that I have really high expectations of the people that I trust.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I expect a lot out of myself, and therefore the people that I let into my inner circle, I kind of expect a lot of them. And there's this side of me that I'm still kind of exploring in therapy of like, do I literally set myself up for failure because I expect so much about people that they would never be able to perform to the level that I would expect them to go at? And this is probably one of my biggest character flaws as a human being, if I'm honest with myself and with you guys, is that I don't trust people very easily. And when I do, they'll always let me down.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me is like I hate that because I literally feel like I isolate from that because I don't want to like the people. A really good example of this is like my current situation of where I live right now in Minnesota. I am here in Minnesota because I trusted someone who ultimately let me down massively by offering me a job here, employing me for 2 years, and then deciding not to anymore and leaving the state. Leaving, I was here just because of that job and that friendship. And there's this side of me where I literally battle every day to not sit and go, how could you do this to me? Because honestly and ultimately what their decisions were not revolving around me.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
They
And
weren't thinking of you.
that's
Right.
no, exactly.
Yeah.
And boy, how self-centered am I thinking about all of that? But then I'll have people say this to me. Like, I'll get into a point where I'm just like, yeah, like life is life and this is what happens. And, people make decisions. And then someone will say something to me like, oh, but Jules, you moved to Minnesota because of that job. But I'm like, oh, crap, you're the one bringing this up now. Like, do you want to see me tailspin out? Do you want to see me, like, rip someone over the coal? I don't know. I don't know what to do with that information. It's like, yes, I did. Yes, they did. And what am I going to do about it now? And so, and in those darkest moments, I don't forgive that situation. I don't. And it's hardest for me to say, well, that kind of screwed me over.
Yeah.
And so
But
forgiveness
that's also
is
the
very
thing,
difficult.
though, is that that person wasn't thinking about you.
Yes.
You
And
know,
I have to remember
that's
that.
both things. Like, it's like, on one hand, they weren't thinking about you. They were making decisions based on their own initiatives and prerogatives. On the other hand, that person wasn't thinking about you, and
Yeah.
that's rude, right? There's two
It's
sides
so
to this.
true. It's so true. And so you can go from being hyper self-centered on it and then saying, who am I to expect that this person is going to make their life choices dependent on me? That's way out beyond what we would expect to have happen in life.
Mhm.
So that's a big struggle that I've had for the last year, is just coming to terms with that and understanding that, yes, life happens. Yes, people do things that are hurtful, and sometimes they don't mean to. Sometimes they do it because they are hurting themselves, and that comes to another example of forgiveness and a level that I still struggle with. Um, my When I did Tour and Think Tank, I started the show in 2012, and my original co-host lasted for about a year and a half, and he left. He left under really terrible circumstances of a really horrible misunderstanding. He wasn't communicating with me, assumed something that if he'd given me the opportunity to talk about it was not true. And so he just left in a huff and just left. And then went onto the internet months later after leaving in this huff and started attacking me on social media and sending people after me to attack me on social media for months. It was harassment. It was awful. It was absolutely terrible. And this person knew my real name. They knew where I lived. They knew where I worked. They had my phone number. They had my address. And it was dangerous. It was super, super scary, super dangerous.
Yeah.
I was afraid what was going to come next. I didn't know. And eventually the harassment stopped. And a couple of years later, he reached out to me and he apologized for what happened. And that was awful. That was terrible.
Yeah.
Because here's what I went through on that front is that I went through months and months of harassment and fear and couldn't sleep at night and just, felt horrible and all these horrible things that could have been prevented had we had this conversation of just discussing it. Instead, he would refuse to speak to me. And then comes back and says, "Yeah, I was a real asshole." But didn't understand the extent of what an asshole he was because he truly did not know how it affected me and
Right.
what he did. So after he sent this apology, I waited for a little bit and then I replied and I said, this is exactly what happened to me with what you did. I just want you to realize this. So if you're apologizing for this, I accept your apology. But not just I was an asshole. It's like I needed to be clear that it wasn't just one thing. It was all the stuff that came after it was the worst part of it. And have I forgiven this person? No.
Mm-hmm.
Have I moved on from it? Yes.
Yeah.
Have I moved my life forward? But have I forgiven them for their actions? No. And I don't know if that's a character flaw of me or not.
Well, I was gonna
I honestly don't
say
know the
it's
answer to that.
you have no obligation, absolutely zero obligation to forgive that person. And then if you do, they're hurting you even more if you feel bad for not forgiving them because they did all of that to you, made you live that way, and then after you decide not to forgive them, you shouldn't feel bad because if you feel bad, then they're putting even more of their weight and guilt on you, and you're carrying that around with you. I think
Yeah.
I think you're absolutely right. If you choose not to forgive them, you make the decision, then you just move on from it.
So now in life and in religion too, people would actually look down upon most people for saying that they don't forgive somebody.
Hmm.
Wouldn't you think? I mean, wouldn't you think that that kind of has the societal norm of saying, "Oh, well, you should just get over it. Oh, you should just let it go. Oh, you should forgive and forget."
I don't think so. I mean, I think it used to be that way, but I think more and more that's not the norm. Honestly, if you burn a bridge, it very rarely ever mends itself. I mean, and when it does, that's a special thing. That's a unique circumstance. I think that's why people talk about forgiveness like some magical thing. It's because
Mhm.
it so often doesn't happen, or when people do try to forgive someone and it goes terribly wrong, it's an example, on the other side of things, and like people don't want to talk about that. They only want to talk about
Yeah,
the time
because
where forgiveness worked. You know?
yes, because most of the time we don't know how to ask for forgiveness properly. I
Yeah.
don't think. I honestly, I mean, the way that someone gains my forgiveness, and that it does happen. I mean, it has happened. But the way that they gain my forgiveness is that they've truly shown me that they understand what happened and have done things to prevent it from happening again. Like you've learned from this experience and put something into action that would prevent this experience from happening again. That's where I say, okay, I forgive you. It was, a misstep. And that to me is, is worthy of just saying, yes, I forgive you. Um, but the thing that happens a lot with people is saying, I'm sorry you feel that way.
Hmm.
I'm sorry you feel that way, Coffee. Like, I'm taking no responsibility of the fact that I did anything to hurt you. I'm sorry
Right.
you feel that way.
Yeah, you're like kind of you're trying to acknowledge my feelings, but you're taking no responsibility over what you did.
Yeah. Yeah. And
You're
so,
pretending to acknowledge my feelings, essentially, when you say
yeah.
that.
And that was one of the things that I learned early on in professional, like a professional workplace, is that you gain so much more when you were willing to admit your faults and to say, I owned this. I
Hmm.
messed up. I screwed up and this is on me. and this is what I'm going to do to fix it. Rather than blaming someone for, or blaming the thing of, oh, it's just because of this, or, like, if you can take on the responsibility of your own fault, if it truly is your own fault, like, if someone gets hurt by your actions, they're hurt. It does not matter if you intended to do it or not. It's that
Mhm.
it's that you did. And so if you can understand what it is that you did in order to make, and to say, I'll never say that word again. I'm sorry, I didn't know and I didn't mean to hurt you. And then you take into action saying, I'm not going to say that word again, and you don't, in their presence. Or
Yeah.
yeah, it's just, but so going back to the example of the person who harassed me on social media, they stopped doing that kind of thing to me, but they didn't stop doing it to other people.
Hmm.
So I mean, because it got so bad on my front is that I blocked him on social media so that he could not access anything. And I've had him blocked forever. And, it's been 5-6 years now that he's been blocked. And occasionally someone will message me and say, this person is saying these things. And I'm like, I don't know, because I'm not
Right.
seeing it. But then they say, oh, yeah, he has not changed. And okay, great. I've moved on with my life, and he's done his thing, but it reinforces the reason why he stays blocked on my social media, because I don't want to see that shit. I don't
Yeah.
want to put that into my world. No way.
Yeah, it's interesting how social media almost makes it easier to not forgive at this point. You can
Yeah.
block, mute, silence someone. You never see their shit ever again, and
Yeah.
if you don't physically cross paths with that person ever again, it's very easy to move on. It's kind of crazy how that works.
It's actually, for me, that's a bit comforting, especially in the world that we live in. It's
Oh
the
yeah.
hardest part is when you run in the same circles, especially us being in the Blizzard community, and then you go to BlizzCon and everybody
Mm,
who you may have blocked shows up at BlizzCon and you may be in the same spaces as they are.
yeah.
It's just like, ooh, man, no, this is not where I want to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think about this topic a lot, Coffee, because forgiveness is something that I struggle with a lot, um and it leads me to a path where I just don't feel comfortable a lot of times letting people past a certain point in my life, because I don't trust them enough that they're not going to hurt me, because everybody else seems to.
I was gonna say that I think you and I are possibly similar in that regard, that I don't really let anyone close enough to me too often to have them be in a position to let me down at all, so
Yes.
that I have to
Yes.
forgive them. It's just, I kind of just keep a lot of people at a distance to begin with, so that I never have to be in that position where I'm hurt and have to forgive someone. So,
And it's very isolating. It
mm,
can be. You have a wife and someone who you trust implicitly, and have that situation where you have a partner, and I envy that, because I don't know if I can ever get to that point again. I don't know if I could ever let someone get to that point again, and which is why the whole segment that's coming later was kind of comedic to me, just because I lasted 24 hours. I just said I just noped the hell out of there, because it was partly comedic and it was partly pretty sad, where I was just like, I don't see anybody here in the short amount of time, and the things that I am seeing scare the shit out of me enough that I don't want to date. I
yeah.
don't want to take that risk. Um, at least on a online dating app. And you know it's it's sad. I mean, I've been married twice and divorced twice, and it's literally just, I mean, my second marriage has pretty much turned me into what I am today, which is afraid of dating. So literally afraid of dating because of the very challenging situation that resulted into the marriage that I had. And it's like, okay, so that leaves me in a position where I isolate, lack of trust, don't want to get hurt or have to forgive somebody. Well, at least I've got my cat.
I honestly, and that's the thing with me, is if I didn't have Emma, I would be a hermit. I would probably never leave my house. You know, I would not be letting people in because that's just like kind of my nature. And yeah, I just got extremely super duper lucky early on. But I've been on the other side of forgiveness. I've been the person, in college, my sophomore and junior year, I was going through some shit. I was going through some weird stuff and just personality wise, and I was figuring out who I was really. And I hurt a lot of people in college that I, to this day kind of think about every now and then. And I remember being the person asking for forgiveness.
Yeah.
And it's hard to do that too, to ask for forgiveness. Most people didn't forgive me, but one person that I hurt severely, deeply in college, they did accept my apology, and we're very close to this day. We're super duper close. Yeah, and didn't happen overnight, but we just kind of worked on it. It's I don't know. It'd be interesting to ask her if she ever thought about that time in our lives again. But yeah, I hurt her severely and she forgave me. I don't know. I don't know if I could have done the same, but she forgave me and I never hurt her again. That's for sure. And I always tried to do right by her from there forward.
You have a lot of admiration in your voice for her too. For
definitely. I don't think I could have done that. I don't think I could have forgiven me, Coffee, for doing what I did to her. And she's amazing. She's incredible. To this day, she's amazing. I'd just be curious, maybe I'll reach out to her and see if she ever thinks about that time in our lives, because me personally, I don't think I could have forgiven, and I certainly wouldn't forget. It'd always be in the back of my mind somewhere, when somebody's wronged you to a certain extent.
You were in college, right?
Yeah, I was in college. I was probably just starting my junior year in college, and I was just not really sure what I was gonna do with my life, and I was kind of all over the place. Was a wild dude and never made any super calculated decisions, just kind of like went with the flow, and wanted to have fun. And when you live life like that, there are like casualties. There are people you hurt, and that wasn't how I was raised. It's never how I wanted to live. It just happened that way. Circumstances made me that way in that time of my life. And to this day, I feel terrible for some of the people I hurt during that time. But this one particular person that forgave me at that time, who against all odds forgave me, it still just kind of rings out to me as being a turning point in my life, where this one person forgave me, for doing this terrible thing. And it kind of turned or shifted me, because I realized that people need to be protected and honored and cherished. And if this person's going to forgive me, I need to do right by her and kind of make a change in my life, because I don't want to hurt anyone like that again, especially if they have the confidence and they think so well of me or so highly of me that they're willing to forgive me. I have to make that right. So yeah.
Yeah. Without giving up any details,
Yeah, I don't want to
did you?
give too many details on it, but
Yeah, no. This won't hopefully give away. Hi, Kitty. This probably won't give away too many details. But did the situation turn out that you you sought out her forgiveness, or it was like you learned of what you had done and then you were like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry?
uh um I was essentially discovered. And I was discovered, and it wasn't something where originally sought out her forgiveness. It was
Gotcha.
she discovered my actions. um it wasn't just her. It was a number of people discovered my
Yeah.
actions, and
Yeah.
there was no real way out of it. It was just you either kind of own up and accept that you did this and apologize, or you run away in fear. And I've never been one to like. I usually, whatever my actions are, I step up and own that. So
Hmm.
that's what happened at the time. And while the majority of people did not accept my apology, she did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is, a big turning point of your maturity, and you're moving forward with life, which is amazing. And I've found that when it comes to, because I know I've talked about other people and me forgiving them, but I am not infallible, and I have definitely hurt people, and I have definitely done things that I regret for
Mhm.
other people. And so the way that I tried, a lot of times you don't get the opportunity to apologize. A lot of times you don't get that chance. And so the only thing that I know how to do when I've made those critical errors, if I don't have the opportunity to apologize, like the door has been closed, they don't want to hear from me,
Yeah.
it's done, then I make it a point of remembering what got me to that point and correcting the behaviors going forward, and to honor the legacy of that. Like, it's a lesson that I've learned the hard way, and we're going to move forward from it. And
Mm-hmm.
that the example that I use a lot of times with that is how I ended things with my first husband. And I hurt that person very much. And you know I know, from everything I know, he's remarried and happy as far as I am aware, which is great. I'm so happy that he found somebody else. But it was not how I would have done things now. It's not how I would handle things at the age that I am now.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it sucks when you know that you've done really bad things to somebody or hurt
Yeah.
them, maybe not intentionally, of like trying to hurt them, which is literally like, I need to be out of this situation now. And so there's lessons that are always learned from this, and it's something that we have to try to remember and take forward with us wherever we head to next. But man, that's hard to do.
Yeah, I would love to be the type of person that can forgive, accept someone's wrongs, continue to respect them and forgive them, with all of myself. I would love to be
Mm-hmm.
that person, especially after, this experience of this woman forgiving me, um,
Yeah.
when the odds were stacked against me, and when that forgiveness she gave, pretty much changed my life and shifted my
Mm-hmm.
direction. That forgiveness that she gave me means so much to me. So I would
Yeah.
like to become the kind of person that can forgive in that way. But man, it is tough. It's really
It is
tough.
tough. It's interesting too, because there's another side of this, and that is, and I think you probably will relate to this a lot, is that those people that do actually make it past that wall of, protection, that once they're inside that wall of trust, that they pretty much can get away with murder for a long time. At least with me.
Hmm.
I Cuz I my therapist has actually said this to me. She has said, "You will allow so much to happen to you with people that don't deserve to be allowed to be, and I kind of sit there and I'm like, I always think of myself as like too hard on people. And she's saying to me, no, you're actually really, really accommodating to many, many people when it comes to the people that are in your inner circle. And I was like, mind blown. Because I realized that she was right. Because I would allow people who were inside that inner circle to just do these things that I would never allow someone who wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And was like, wow, that really just messes with my head. And obviously, I'm still a work in progress when it comes to this stuff because I thought I had the answers in life. I thought I understood people pretty well. I thought I can't begin to tell you. I can't even begin to start to tell you because we're just too complex. I don't have anything figured out. I was talking to a friend of mine who was talking about he's going through the dating process as well, and I'm like, you cannot ask me any advice about dating because I suck at it. Apparently I have zero credibility when it comes to giving you dating advice, because why the hell would you listen to me?
Man, if I knew anything about dating like in college, I know nothing about it now, right? It's just totally different. Dating changes faster than technology changes. I feel like it's just
it does.
I hear stories from people sometimes that just make me so just flabbergasted of like how dating has changed. Like, I mean, this goes beyond just like they're using apps and websites to date. That there's terminology that I don't know. There's expected routine, there's like unspoken rules and things like that it just wasn't that way when I was dating. So
No.
yeah, I'm also not the person to talk to about dating or guys or girls or anything. It's just I don't know it. I don't know anything about it.
No, and it's literally like you look at it and go, I have zero understanding, and it's a wonder that any of us find a partner that we can spend the rest of our life with.
Oh
It
yeah,
literally blows my mind now of how difficult it is
it's a miracle. It's a
to find
miracle.
that. So
Yeah.
yeah. So did we come up with any answers with this? No, probably not. It's more
No.
just kind of talking about what forgiveness is and what it means to us. And I don't know. I'm still grappling with this, even in my own, like as I sit here today, May 7th, 2019, I'm literally in a point of my life where I just don't really know where things are going to go next. Um, and it's interesting. It's scary, and yet it's pretty cool because I can pretty much pick my own path. I just don't know what path that's going to be yet. Versus, several years ago where I felt like I was locked into a specific path that I couldn't ever escape.
Mm-hmm.
This was my life, and this is the way it was going to be for the rest of my life, and I was not going to be able to change that. And so now I have to look at it from both perspectives, because it can be like, oh my gosh, I have no idea what I want to do now. I have no idea. Zero clue. Like, no idea. But at least I have the ability to choose.
Yeah, that's important.
It's all about perspective.
Yeah.
It's all about perspective. It is. And the same thing with forgiveness. My closing thought is that you have to decide what is best for you when it comes to forgiveness, and don't let anybody else tell you how you should feel about a situation.
Don't do it for them. Don't do it for the person asking for forgiveness. Do what makes you feel right, and it's going to be a decision you have to live with. Yeah, like I said, for me, my closing thought is forgiveness is important to me because there's been a time in my life where a key individual granting that forgiveness to me shifted my direction and kind of changed my course, and it means a lot to me. But I don't know that I would have done the same thing. Just the way I the way I am and the way that I treat my relationships. I kind of keep people a little bit at a distance because I don't want to let them in close enough to be able to hurt me, and I don't want to be in that position, to begin with. But it does mean a lot to me that person did that for me, and maybe I want to try to work towards being the type of person that can forgive like that.
Yeah. It's so much food for thought, you guys. I hope that it's given you stuff to think about as well. We always welcome your thoughts and feedback about the discussions that we have on this show. And you can email us at podcast@heroeshearth.com, or you can tweet at us. Both of us are individual Twitter accounts. You can send us your thoughts on that. And if you don't know our Twitter accounts, I'm at JulesRPG and he is coffeeclub_TV. We're going to get another topic out there next week. I don't even remember what I was going to talk about for next week because I didn't look. So you
It's
can
going to be
follow.
something good, though.
It always is. It always is. Follow Heroes Hearth ENT on Twitter, Heroes Hearth Entertainment, to get in on what's happening, what's coming up. And if you want to contribute to the topic pool, you can do so. And let us know what you guys want to hear us talk about. We take it from everywhere. We've literally gotten inspiration. Like this topic came from
a tweet.
Kid Kerrigan.
Yeah.
It came from a tweet.
Yeah.
So inspiration can strike at any time.
It usually does, too, when you least expect it.
It does. All right, Coffee. Let's go switch things up and have a little fun. I'm going to play this little sounder right here.
Okay.
Hey, Coffee, tell me a story.
It's story time.
This is a story time, isn't it?
And maybe, I don't know how we're going to integrate this new segment of online dating fails into this, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, so do you have any stories that have happened since the last time we chatted?
Yeah, so Sunday I went to the Renaissance Fair, or the Renaissance Pleasure Fair, with Tasky Chew and Big Scary Duck and Smoogie and Iscarl. And those are all people in our little Blizzard Heroes of the Storm community, and we just had the best time. Just a fantastic time. And
that looked like such a blast. I was jealous as hell.
It was great. And it's so important to do stuff like that. So often, at least for me, I get stuck in my routine. I'm just worn out and I'm beat, by Friday. And I like to use my weekend to recover. So I don't stream on the weekends. But, we're all so busy all the time that scheduling something like that with that number of people is really challenging and tough. But if you make the effort, it really is worth it. I mean, we just had such an incredible, amazing time, and I hadn't seen Tasky Chew in several months. And it was really good to see her and Duck, and Iscarl is visiting from Germany.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, no, Sweden. I'm sorry, Sweden.
Uh-huh.
So when's the next time I'm going to see him? It's just, yeah, it was very special, and we had the best time. We really did.
That sounds so cool. Like I said, I was very high-key jealous of seeing all of you lovely people together, because I'm like, oh man, I would have totally done that.
Oh,
that was so much fun.
You would have loved it. You would have had a blast for sure.
I know. Yeah, and so for this last couple weeks, one of the things that I've been really trying to do now that the weather is warmer and that the weather is, the weather in Minnesota is just goofy when it comes to springtime. Like tomorrow it's going to be like
outside is weather.
It's frightful. It is frightful during springtime. Like tomorrow it's going to be raining all day and 49 degrees.
But the fire is so delightful.
That fire is amazing. And then today it was 65 and sunny and beautiful. But now that there's no snow on the roads and people are actually can go do things, I've been making a point of trying to make sure that I spend some time with friends outside of just
nice.
So I called up Nicole and Tim from Heroes of Fitness and said we have not gone to brunch in 4 months, 5 months. Let's do it. I called up my friends Steph and Jason, and I said we need to go to dinner.
Yeah.
And I'm buying because for the first time in a long time I can actually pay them back for the meals that they purchased for me when I was not in such a great financial position. And
That's
man,
so
that feels good. That feels
That's so sweet.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so this last weekend I met my friends Jason and Steph at our favorite restaurant that we go to, and we ate outside because it was a beautiful day, and it was great, and it's perfect, and it's exactly what I need to do more of, and just get myself out of my little bubble, because work is so busy now. It's just like, you know, we are in busy season, and I feel it every day. So by the time I get home, even today, I got home, I'm like, I got to eat some food. I got to get ready for the show.
Right.
When we get 30 minutes past this time, when we end the show, I will be in a heap on the floor because I'm so tired. But it's just been really, really
Yeah, I'm
busy.
starving
But
myself. Holy shit.
yeah, you need to eat.
A hungry
So,
boy.
I am, yeah, so that's kind of where I've been focusing my time. I'm actually heading to New Jersey this weekend to go visit my parents.
Nice.
So I'm not seeing my parents in September, so it has been
Oh wow.
a long time.
Yeah.
So my workplace is not too pleased that I'm leaving during busy season, but oh well.
What do you do with the babies? The
he
furball.
is he gets babysat. Well, he's got a pet sitter that
Oh,
comes
okay.
in, and she's awesome, and she like she's a paid service. What she does
Okay.
is she takes a picture of him every day when she comes to see him. She uploads him up on a little like diary that she emails me, tells me what he did, and there's always a picture of him getting cuddles, and then I know she's been there. It's so cute. It's the cutest thing
Speaking of
ever.
little
So
monster, this guy got out somehow.
how did he get out? Oh my
Don't
goodness.
know. I don't know how
Who
he got out.
let you
Look, he's
out,
chewing on my
monster?
hand right now.
Yes, he is. What a cutie pie. He's still so little,
So
though.
bad. So bad.
Yeah, he's still so little.
He is little, but he's like big enough to make like a mess, right?
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, we're working on this guy, but my thing, the reason I asked like who takes care of the little guy is like I don't like this guy's a handful. Like
Hmm.
not just anyone could take care of this guy. I feel like if we were to go out of town, you know,
Yeah.
I'd have to I have to find somebody to I think stay in my house to
Yeah,
take care
and
of this
some of
guy.
those pet services will do that, if you pay for it,
Hmm.
um but yeah, like he's good enough where he just, he's super lonely, and he's happy when I get home, but he does okay,
Yeah,
and he's real good for her. He loves her.
that's good.
So, which is great. So, but if it were anybody else, I don't think he would be so great.
Yeah, he's like
So yeah,
attached to
so
her.
he likes her a lot, and but he's real picky about who, like, anytime if there's a male in my house at all, he freaks out. Does
Not a
not like
fan.
men.
Yeah,
No. It's so, but women he's okay with.
that's the
So
way our dog is. Emma's dog,
mhm.
Rumple, not into men at all.
Yep. Yep.
Hates men. So,
There was the time when Brasky and Workhorse came to my house to
oh
drop
no,
off the computer that I'm on,
that was
and
World War
he just
Three.
took off, like, did not want. And Workhorse has cats, and it's just no, he wanted nothing to do. So
Hmm.
he's crashed out in his bed right now.
Good
Okay,
boy.
so are we ready to entertain the crowds with this little segment we're gonna do
Yeah,
about
let's try it out.
the online dating?
Let's see what happens. And
All right, I'm in your hands. I've given you the content, and now you get to play with it.
okay, let's give it a shot. So the way this is gonna work is I'm gonna bring up the little snippet on the screen. We're gonna read it aloud. I'm gonna give it a dramatic reading that it deserves.
Okay.
Um, Jules, we're gonna give you a moment to reply. And see if you're gonna let us know if this is an individual that you would consider maybe pursuing and going on a date, and then I'm gonna reply back to that with just a devil's advocate kind of response, and
Okay.
give you reasons for yay or nay based on your response. What do you think?
Bring it on. Let's go.
All right, let's see what we got here. Boop. This is Oliver the Happy Man. Thanks for stopping by my profile. I am a one-woman person who loves to be happy and make others happy. I am old-fashioned man who still believe in chivalry. I laugh at my own joke because life is too short to get stressed just because, as Bruce Springsteen sings, two hearts are better than one. I love the outdoors. Traveling. Camping. I feel like I like Oliver.
Oliver has some charm, and there's no picture on the screen
No.
for for security purposes, but he's actually not an unattractive man. I just found the self summary very
Well, that's the thing is he loves to be happy and make
he loves
others
to be happy. Yeah,
So
I mean that's there sounds like there could be something there.
I think there could be something here. I think Oliver's like maybe a thumbs up for me.
Okay.
Right? He also has a nice accent, like almost like a Dracula accent. I feel like so there's a lot going on for Oliver. He loves to be happy.
We could all be Oliver.
He loves to be happy and make others happy, and I think that goes a long way. So shout out to Oliver. Let's move on.
Warren says he's way too old. He's 43. Is that right? Is that the same? 43?
Yeah, that's not too old.
Yeah. No, he's 45.
Yeah, no, he's not too old.
I'm gonna be 45 this year.
All right, let's take a look. Let's go to the next one here.
All right, here comes
Robert. Just some guy trying to do wrong, but has his reasons. Please don't judge me. Just try and understand that I haven't made this decision hastily.
Oh, Robert. I'm sorry, but no.
He's trying to do wrong? What do you think that means?
So, he's trying to be a bad boy. I get it. It's just that when you're being a bad boy, Robert, you have to stand behind your decision 100% and not apologize for it. Instead of being like, please don't judge me. No. You just say, you are not judging me. Like, you are literally not judging me.
Your directive, like you're saying, don't judge me.
This is where Robert went wrong, because he's clearly not confident in the fact that he really does want to do wrong. He does feel bad about it. There's guilt there, and that is not sexy.
Interesting. Robert is also 43. He's just bad to the bone, is from what it looks like. Yeah.
But what we didn't have is that Robert had a half-naked torso for his picture.
Yeah. Robert he doesn't even show pictures of his face. It's just chest, right? Just abs and chest.
I mean, if you're gonna cheat, because you're gonna cheat if you're saying this kind of thing.
So explain that to me real fast, because I didn't know that. So maybe explain the torso picture, because like you were explaining to me that some people who are in a relationship or already married go on here and post torso pictures. They don't want to post a picture of their face because
anytime. Like there's a lot of them too. And sometimes they send me messages and they are looking to cheat on their spouse, and they don't show their picture because they don't want to get caught. But yeah, it is. There are a lot of these. A lot of people out there looking to cheat, which
that's a big yike.
Yeah, that makes me kind of sick. So
that's a big yike for me. Let's move on from Robert. I'm gonna put him in the strong maybe pile.
Yeah, he's on the low no pile.
Okay.
Like he's kind of that one.
Oh, this looks good. Wow.
Okay. This one was a long one, right? Oh, yes. Yeah. This is my favorite one. Read this one.
What kind of accent do I do for this one?
You have to be a biker, like a rough biker dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
You shouldn't message me if all your pictures leave some ambiguity as to which of the 7 people you actually are. Seriously, what's the deal with that? Am I just supposed to guess which one you are? Crop that shit! Oh, and why does anyone join a dating website with the sole purpose of meeting friends? One other thing, how come every woman on here who goes out of their way to say they don't want one-night stands, FWBs, etc., also are the very same ones who also have the mirror pic showing off their ass, and another sticking their tongue out showing off her tongue ring? I think Dave Chappelle said it best when he talked about walking around in a cop uniform and someone asking him for help, to which he replied, "Oh ho! Just because I'm dressed this way does not make me a police officer. You see what I mean? Alright, ladies, fine. You're not a whore, but you're wearing a whore's uniform. You gotta understand that shit is effing confusing. Don't get me wrong, though. I appreciate the view and all. And one last deal breaker. If you had to use your phone to take a picture of another picture, so you're...
And it goes on and on from there.
This was an actual profile with an actual guy's picture, and it went on. And I mean, I cut it off because I could not capture all of it in the screenshot. There are more of these than you would want to see. They will basically tell you exactly what is wrong, with or they will have some kind of sarcastic thing about, whatever.
We're getting some mixed responses from chat. This might actually be Synchrony's dating profile. I'm not sure. 8-Bit Dame says hard no. Simon says 10 out of 10 would date. I mean, you know what? Maybe we'll throw him in the maybe pile as well.
Oh my lord. This person right here is why I wanted to create a blog that would say this is why you're single.com.
This is pretty damn aggressive, I gotta say.
Aggressive is calm.
That's pretty aggressive. Let's move on.
Okay, next one.
Hi, how are you? I hope you are doing well. I was just looking around today and your picture got my attention. Then now I am writing to you. I would like to know more about you, get to know you, learn your likes and dislikes. After a few messages, we could get together for a cup of coffee or something. Go for a walk around a lake maybe. I guess we can decide that later on. I am looking forward to hear from you. Have a wonderful day.
So if you have not used OkCupid, the people can send you a message when they like you so you can see it. And so this was one of the messages that somebody sent me.
Okay.
Yeah. Everyone's like, this one's a bot. It's a bot. It's like, yeah,
definite bot. We're overwhelming response that this is a bot, but are you sure it's a bot? Because it sounded like a normal person to me. Like it sounded like a kind of a gentle voice, right?
I love how there's a plan to this whole thing though. There's a plan. Like after a few messages, then we will take a walk around the lake. Like, oh, I have no choice in this. I have no decision to make in this process. This is exactly how we're gonna date. Okay, I get it.
Oh boy. David says, "Sounds like me." Oh man.
The chat room. You guys are liking this segment so far? Are you enjoying this? Because I think you are. You sound like you are.
This is good.
This is very funny. Okay, keep going.
We'll keep going. We'll keep going until somebody says they're not into it. When we have to stop.
Synchrony. I have to meet you at a lake at 4 p.m. It's a date. No choice. No choice in your date.
What kind of voice does this guy get? We'll do.
I can't see it very well, so I don't know who it is, but.
Okay, so there must be a typo because your profile says you're 43 years old. But clearly any 20-year-old woman can only fantasize of looking half as sexy as you. And wow, you've got the most amazing smile. I'm sure that's not the first time you heard that. Now, I know there's a little distance between us. I decided not to let that be a barrier if I click with someone. Plus the fact that I got 10 weeks of vacation and I love to travel. By the way, I'm Dave. I'm a 50-year-old doctor who finished my training years ago and moved out to California from the East Coast, and I don't see myself ever going back. My brother lived in Santa Cruz, and my parents moved up to Roseville, so most of my family's here now. Plus back east, I could only drive with my top down 9 days of the year, and here I can do it for 9 months a year. Anyhow, I'd love to get to know you better. I typically don't like posting lots of pics because I always worried one of my patients will see me on here and then come into the office, which would make for an uncomfortable visit, if that makes sense. Now, I can email you some pics of me if you're interested. Just let me know where to email them to. I can text them too. I hope you have a nice day. Dave.
Another message that I received from someone who liked my profile.
Do you think that like the story about his patients coming in, like how do you feel about that? Not having pictures up on the site and not wanting to show himself on the site, but then you message him and then he sends pictures.
Dave is a cheater.
Dave is a cheater? You think he's already in a
Cheater.
relationship?
Oh, Dave is cheating on somebody because
Oh,
there ain't no
Dave.
way. There ain't no way that an egotistical doctor is not going to show off. I'm doing a Jersey accent now. He's not
Come
going
on,
to show off his
Dave.
picture. Come on, Dave. Sorry, Dave. You're cheating because you're a sweet talker. He's telling me in the beginning about how
Man.
beautiful I am and how I definitely don't look 43 because that's exactly going to get me to respond.
I was so
to that.
excited about
Absolutely.
Dave. I really was. And then he goes and the whole doctor-patient thing.
South Jersey.
I'm really disappointed in Dave. I had high hopes for Dave. Things were looking
Yeah. Dave. Yes, I'm
Man.
actually 44. I'll be 45 in July. So.
good. God damn. All right. Well, let's
Yeah.
move on. Sorry, Dave. I'm pretty sure you're cheating on somebody here.
I'm pretty sure Dave's cheating, so Dave goes into the nope pile. Oh, this one's my favorite too.
Hello, beautiful and charming lady. How are you? I'm Vikas from India, age 44, still bachelor. I am handicapped guy, not well educated and not working. My whole body is lean. I fell down easily. I am looking for friends and life partner. Let's be friends and know each other better.
He went from Indian to like
I don't know. It
what
went
was-
somewhere.
like French somewhere.
You know what? You gotta. It's I feel like this is real, though.
Oh, I'm sure it's real, and I love the I'm handicapped guy, not well educated and not working. My whole body is lean. I fall down easily. I fell down easily.
It's real, you think, right?
I think it's real. And because this guy was from India,
Yeah.
this was a message that he sent to me, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry, Vikas, but no, I'm sorry, but no.
That's interesting. I mean, it's like, it's sad almost a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
yeah. No pictures of
Good
this
luck.
one, right? I'm thinking.
No, I didn't have. Well, I remember his picture.
Oh, you do remember his picture? Okay.
Yeah, I remember his picture. I don't take the screenshots of him because I don't want it to show up on stream. But yeah.
Did he look? Did he look handicapped to you?
No.
Oh no.
No, he just looked like a normal dude.
Okay.
And a lot of times, what happens is people will just take a picture of themselves from the like the neck up or whatever.
Got it.
But yeah, this was quite an interesting
All right.
message.
Um,
Hey girl, my whole body is lean. Synchrony's gonna use that as his next pickup line.
maybe if anything, we learn anything from these, it's gonna be good pickup lines, right? Maybe. Uh oh, picture.
Okay.
Picture, but no name.
So yeah, no name, but this is the message that this gentleman sent to me.
Romantic relationships are based on expectations and responsibilities. Professional relationships are based on gains and losses. But friendship is based on smiles and laughter.
So this is this guy's intro message to me. What do you think?
I think he's like,
This is the very first impression he wants to
I
give
think
to
he
me.
was either high or like he just got out of philosophy class and or like it's definitely a copy paste.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, he's thinking deep right now, but also a little creepy.
Yeah. Yeah, thinking deep. And yeah, I mean, that's I actually wonder how many women respond to that message.
I bet they
I
bet they
don't
do. I mean, here's the thing about this is for every one of these men with this like I mean, with their thoughts and like who they are and their like kind of wild copy pasta philosophy, there's got to be a woman out there, right? that thinks that feels the
yeah.
same way.
I mean, I've seen it pretty much be there's someone out there for everybody.
Yeah.
Faux show.
So maybe there's a
Faux show.
woman out there copy pasting something very similar and reaching
Yeah.
out to men. I don't know.
I hope he finds her because she ain't me.
It ain't me. Let's move on.
I know fortunate son.
Ooh, oh, this
Yeah.
is good.
Oh,
This
this
guy-
one. This is the one that has the two together. So there's a
Oh.
message before this. This is his profile. You may
It's-
want to do the one before. Can you do it before?
Is
or
this the
no?
one before? Oh.
Yeah. It's okay. It's just a
This is the
picture
one
of-
before? Okay.
That's the message that I got from him, and then the next one is his profile.
What does DWM mean?
Divorced white male.
Okay. Oh. Okay. 39. Divorced white male. Harley man and office professional. 5'8".
235. Thick. Stocky. Masculine build. Shaved head. Full beard. And several tattoos.
My career does not allow me to post pictures publicly as I manage several people who use OkCupid. Pictures available through text. 420 chill? And then this is him as well.
And this is his profile.
All right, straight man, single, speaks English, looking for women for short and long-term dating, hookups, and new friends. Fun, outgoing, caring, and thoughtful. A perfect day for this guy is morning sex. Harley cruise, a glass of whiskey and bourbon. Toke a fat one. Hours of naked fun.
At least he's honest about exactly who he is.
Damn. What is this?
I love the
5'8",
ones that tell
235,
you they
thick. I don't.
Thick.
Something about that, man. Something about the 280, the 5'8", 235, thick. Something
Thick.
about that. I don't know.
I mean, sign me up. Hello.
I mean, you might be into this guy, but I'm gonna turn this guy down, Jules. I
Okay,
might have to give
fine.
this guy the thumbs down.
You're gonna turn it down for me. Okay.
He spelled
Okay,
thick wrong. First of all, it's with 3 C's. There's no K.
It's
Thick.
I can't see this one, so you have to read it.
Oh, I can zoom in a little bit here. Hello, beautiful lady. How are you doing today? You seem to be damn pretty and mature lady. So I thought that I should talk to you and know more about you. And trust me, you look fabulous from outside, and I am damn sure you would be more beautiful inside. So looking to have some great conversation with you.
Isn't that disgusting?
Yeah, that one,
He's gonna murder you, Queen of the North.
that one...
You want to look inside my guts? No, I know that's not what you mean.
Like,
But ew.
I think I know what he's trying to say, and either way you really consider it, it's not good, right?
It's a nope.
Yeah, there's
This is all from.
this side of it, and it's a nope, and then you kind of like try to understand the other side, and it's a double nope almost.
Yes,
so.
it is. It is a most definitely nope.
Oh
for me.
Lord, goodness. All right, well, we'll find the one. We'll find the one
We'll
for you,
find the
Jules.
one. Yeah. Okay. Oh, this one.
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy. He's working on something here, and he's a married, professional, educated man looking for some excitement. This is Jimmy.
Jimmy is like.
This is Jimmy.
That's Jimmy right there.
This is Jimmy.
And that is about 40% of OkCupid profiles that I
This
run
guy's
into in my
married.
age range.
It says he's married.
Mhm. Yep.
What?
Yeah. Like the guy earlier, like this is the guy that you want to be. Like, don't apologize for the fact that you are married and looking for fun. Like, just say you're doing it instead of being like, don't judge me. Like, dude, he's showing up his abs and not his face. He's clearly looking for some fun.
The thing is,
And if
though,
you're into
is
that,
like
awesome, but no.
his wife probably knows those abs, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
One would
but
think.
like if we scroll in here, I don't know if you guys can see this. I'll scroll in a little bit. It looks like he shaves around his belly button in just like a circle, right? Like there's some
Yeah.
hair here, there's some hair going up the center, and hair here, but just this little area right here. That's pretty recognizable, right?
Yeah.
You show that to
Yeah.
that guy's wife, and oh yeah, that's my husband. He only shaves right in a perfect circumference right around the belly button. That's him. You know what I mean?
We needed a telestrator for you for that.
Jeez.
That was something very special right there.
Goodness gracious. Jimmy,
Oh.
I'm disappointed in Jimmy. Well, I'm thinking
Is
about
that all of them?
Dave.
Oh, this guy. Okay.
Oh, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, don't show that.
Don't show that. There we go. Just
Yeah.
just these. Just those.
So yeah, just show the picture from that point. That's good.
Okay.
The funny part is the stuff on the far this side.
Oh, the right side?
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay. All right. This is good. Ready? Maybe I should do a southern accent. No, I won't do that for this guy. I live on a farm with my pets. Never have been married and no children. I love the great outdoors and am not a winter fan. I also work out 6 days a week at Snap Fitness doing cardio and weights. Straight man, single, 6'2", jacked.
He labeled himself as jacked.
White, speaks English, Christian, never smokes, drinks socially, doesn't do drugs, doesn't have kids, has cats, and I'm jacked. Right?
And of course, his profile picture is him without a shirt on.
Oh, yeah.
Because
We can just scroll over and we can see. I'll just show you that's that right there.
Yeah.
What do you think about this guy?
No.
Really?
Hell no.
What's the key turnoff? Is it the nipples?
It's the
I mean, this guy's jacked. I don't know if did I make that clear?
and I don't know if you met me, but I don't think I mesh well with a guy who is jacked. I just because I am very much not jacked. So I don't know if we would be a good, like if he wants to go and work out at Snap Fitness 6 days a week, that's cool. I'm going to sit here and play video games. Sorry.
I see.
Yeah.
All right.
It's kind of, so, I mean, nothing against him. He can have, he's obviously taken good care of himself. Best of luck to him. Not a good match for Jules.
Okay.
But I flagged this one.
Because he's jacked. Yeah. He's jacked and describes himself as such. Okay.
Yeah.
So while not your particular thing, this guy's a catch for any of you lucky ladies out there. So if you guys are curious about this jacked guy, head on over to the Snap Fitness. Take a look. Try to find the guy doing the cardio and the weights. That's
Jack Curious is chaos.
Okay.
Is there more? I thought. Oh yeah, there is more.
There's a little more. And then the grand finale is that one with the
Yes. That whoa.
The one with the.
Yes. Okay. Chat room will love that one. Okay.
Hey, simplicity is one thing that has made your profile different from every other's profile. I would like to know the mystery behind it and to know you more. I wait to read from you soon. Kiss, hug, from Jim.
At the end, there is a question mark.
Jim? Like he's not sure if his name is Jim or not, or if he's not sure if your name is Simplicity, because he does say Simplicity with a capital S. I'm not sure.
And honestly, I thought, when I read this and I see it again, Simplicity is the name of an esports team, and that's what I think of. And I'm like, are you talking about the esports
Well,
team?
it is a capital S, so I think
it's a capital S. Yes.
He could be talking to someone that's possibly not you. And I'm not even sure we're talking to Jim at this point.
Well, he doesn't know we're talking to Jim because it's Jim.
Right. But we already talked to Jimmy. This is Jimmy. So is this Jimmy? Or is this Jim?
Man, I'm going to have to deliver this many each week. Good Lord, I'm going to be on this.
You don't have to deliver this many. I thought we'd start it off right and we'd go until somebody got bored or annoyed with it. And people seem to like it. People seem to like it.
Are we, this is the penultimate one? Is this the penultimate?
This is not the penultimate one.
Oh, there's more. That's right.
This one's pretty interesting.
This one. Oh my goodness. Okay.
So I'm going to read him and you read you. Yes. Okay?
This is a message exchange from Bumble. This is going back a ways a little bit, but this is a classic.
All right, so I'm going to be him. Jules, you role play as yourself. I'll give you a second to get into character.
Okay.
What are you going to be up to?
tonight. I just finished reporting a podcast, uploaded a different one, and finally done working for the night, I think. How about you?
Nothing. Gonna go home from work and hang out. Would it scare you or freak you out to come hang with me for a little bit tonight?
Yup.
Okay. No worries then. I asked because you never know. I just wanted to keep things simple. And it wasn't a booty call. I give you my word on that. I'm harmless. I live with 2 women and 2 cats. How dangerous could I be? Only kidding.
This really did happen. It was 10:30 on a Tuesday night that I got that message. And
Oh, God.
It's just like, what? I just met this guy. I just met this guy on this app, and he's asking me to come hang out. Because that's not a booty call.
He swears. He swears. I live with 2 women and 2 cats. How dangerous could I be?
And you want me to come over and hang out with them too, right?
Oh, Lord. I don't know, man.
I tell
Yeah.
you, it's a wild, wild west out there.
It is the wild, wild west. That's such a good way to put it. This next one is the grand finale, though.
This is the grand finale. Yes. Ring it.
Let's do it. So
This is a profile picture of a man, and if you are listening to the podcast, it is of 2 women.
there are 2 women. Yeah, you take it home, Jules.
There's something in the upper corner above their heads that's hanging, and the only thing I can explain it is that it is a tubular thing with 2 hands on the end of the tube thing. And 8-Bit Dave is saying, we know. I don't know what this is for, so someone's gonna have to tell naive me.
Here's the self-summary.
Oh, is that okay? It's a doubles.
I'm in a committed relationship, and I'm looking for a girl to have some fun with. My girlfriend is open to me being with others on my own, or her watching and possibly joining us. I love to please and would like to. Then it goes on from there.
Okay, so the chat room has educated me that it is a sexual device that is used in a fist format.
Oh, Lord.
I
All right.
don't even.
And that's gonna do
That's
it
gonna
for
do it for
this
this
segment on. Woo!
Wow.
We do learn so much here. We really do.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you've enjoyed this segment, please speak up in chat and let us know, because we had fun as hell with this. So if you enjoyed it, we'll do more of it.
Goodness gracious.
Wow.
Yep, just hanging on the wall. I was amused and scared, says Chaos. Timmy enjoyed it. Oh, Lord.
Okay. So that is going to do it for this episode of the Jules and Coffee Hour. I had a blast, Coffee. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was fun. That was good. That was pretty good.
Thank you.
The
For
thing
coming
about
up
it
with
is
this idea.
we can only do this segment on the show when we have enough eligible bachelors out there, throwing their hat in the ring. It's really up to them. It's up to those gentlemen out there. You know?
I can't get it out of my head now.
Oh man.
Oh man. Well, we hope we've made you think. We hope you've had some fun with us tonight. We had a blast. We love doing this show every week, and we'll be back next week. We hope you've enjoyed this time by the fire which means I've got to play this beautiful song to take us out of here and let Coffee talk for a little bit.
Want to contact the show? You can email us at podcast@heroeshearth.com. And if you want to connect with us on Twitter, you can find me at coffeeclub_TV and Jules at JulesRPG. You can also use those handles to follow our personal streams on Twitch as well, so you can be notified when we go live.
You can join us for the live broadcast at twitch.tv/HeroesHearth on Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. Central. I'm clearing my throat. Or find us in podcast form on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Pocket Cast, TuneIn, and more.
If you like the show and would like to support the great entertainment brought to you by Heroes Hearth, please consider supporting them on Patreon at patreon.com/HeroesHearth.
Thank you all for joining us today, for thinking and laughing with us. And until next time, we're glad you're here.